Dating can be like playing the lottery sometimes. It can get frustrating and you never know when you'll have a stroke of luck. In this video, we will be discussing the best dating advice according to psychology. Stay until the end to learn which dating advice is right for you. You've probably heard the phrase, just be yourself before, but have you ever wondered why people say it? You may think to yourself why you need to show your real self, flaws and all, if that might not be attractive. Well, being yourself doesn't mean you need to be shameless and start oversharing right away. It means you don't have to pretend to be someone that you're not. Putting on a completely different personality just to win someone's affection will do you no good in the long run. Yes, you might make them fall for your well-thought-out charms, but once you spend more time together, you'll get tired and eventually reveal your true identity. This will make them feel cheated. What's more, you'll only end up having a relationship that you weren't meant to have. You'll both realize that you're not compatible, and the other person might accuse you of tricking them. You shouldn't change your whole identity for someone, no matter how attracted you are. Dating is not supposed to be a show. You may try to look great, but you should not try to be something that you're absolutely not. You can continue to work on yourself, but be true to who you are now. Another thing to keep in mind when you date is this: don't rush intimacy. Forming a bond with someone takes time. No healthy relationship develops overnight. You only get to truly know a person as time goes by. As you experience life with them, you see how they react to problems, what makes them sad, and how they treat you during bad days. Real intimacy comes after familiarity. You can definitely say you're physically, psychologically, and emotionally intimate with someone if you're already share more than a few moments together. Forcing intimacy doesn't work. It just leads to something that won't last for long. If you come on too strong, you might push them away. No one wants to be forced into feeling what they have yet to feel. While you might believe you've found the one, they might still be figuring out how they really feel about you. If you appear too desperate, they might run for the hills and never return. Take it slow. Relationships deepen when you take your time and become worth it when you're patient enough. When it comes to dating, communication is important. Communication is a two-way street. Two people speak their minds to share what they are thinking and how they are feeling in order to understand each other. When you know how the other person feels, you adjust to make them comfortable. For example, if they are not in the mood to talk about their day, you won't try to pry. Or, if they don't like crowded places, then you won't bring them to one. According to psychology, effective communication makes both parties feel validated and more connected. It allows them to be understood, as well as be conscious of where the other is coming from. Healthy communication is essential in dating, just as it is in relationships. Without it, there would be no harmony, only chaos. Honesty, unbiased thinking, and an open heart are all necessary in communication. When they are present, you grow closer and learn to deal with any potential issues side by side. Also, share the spotlight. Don't talk about yourself so much that they barely get a chance to talk about themselves. I know it's tempting to tell your stories about your career, your favorite trip, your last eye-opening experience, but try not to get carried away. Remember, you're not the only one who's supposed to speak in the conversation. You can babble on and on, not realizing that they are slowly losing interest, wondering whether they are your audience or your date. Instead of making a self-focused speech, ask the other person how they relate to a topic you're discussing, or ask them how they feel about something. Get them talking about their life, hobbies, favorite food, anything that they seem to like. If they appear to hesitate, encourage them to talk more about what they like, as you have done. As long as they are comfortable with chatting up, allow them to speak as much as they want. Being the start of a dialogue won't lead you anywhere good. It will only give off an unpleasant vibe. Self-serving people who don't show much interest in others are super unattractive. Don't let yourself be like that. Always include your date in the conversation, and even better, wait for them to speak first before you do. Let them lead with their own subject every now and then, or if they look like they have something to say. You don't need to be the host all the time. In dating, you should date who you want, not who you feel you should. It can be easy to give way to outside pressure, especially loved ones' opinions. But don't. Whatever happens, your life and your decisions are yours. There's no point pleasing others at the expense of your personal well-being and happiness. For example, your parents might think a partner with a strong personality is best for you, even though you know that you don't get along well with those who are super confident. Likewise, many might tell you you're better off with someone who works for a big company, even if you want someone who's not always busy. People can say what they want, but in the end, it's all up to you. Even those who mean well don't always know what's right for you. You know yourself best, so only you can determine who you really need. Ask yourself, what do you look for in a potential partner? Which character makes you feel safe? Who would you like to share memories with in the future? Do some soul searching. Listen to your heart and not to anyone else's preferences. Moreover, only you can know whether you're ready to date or not. Despite your age or family background, you should never let yourself be pressured to look for a partner. If you're still happy and content being single, then you're completely fine not dating anyone at the moment. Even if you're a little lonely, there is no specific timeline for dating. You can date whatever you want. One more thing, don't limit yourself to an ideal type. There is nothing wrong with having an ideal type. However, it can keep you from finding the right person. The odds of finding someone who can meet all or even just half of the qualities you have on your list is quite low. You need to be open to people who are compatible with you. Though they might not pass your entire checklist, these are relationships that turn out great in spite of not following an ideal start. A serious guy can find happiness with a bubbly girl. A strict business-minded person can fall for a happy-go-lucky one. You never know who's best for you until you give it a try. Sometimes we are too focused on a certain kind of person that we miss out on who can actually be good for us. We are so conceived that only they can fulfill our needs and desires, even if that's not true at all. You might think a tall, rich, and sweet man will make an ideal husband for you, but in reality, they might not mesh with you because of their attitude. Experts also talk about unhealthy dating patterns that can come from unhealthy ideal types. Let's say you often subconsciously go for those who are emotionally unavailable or those who like to control you. You will always unintentionally seek out those types and get trapped in a toxic pattern. You'll be stuck in an endless, helpless cycle where you fall and get hurt for the same type over and over again. It's important that you open up your heart to possibilities as you date. Don't assume you already know someone by simply judging your first impression of them, or quickly decide not to give them a chance because they can hold up to your expectations. Take your time in getting to know them and see for yourself if they are not really worth a shot. Who knows? You still might change your mind long before you make it up. Dating is not just a game. There's a lot more that goes on than just first impressions and initial attractions. You need to be real, not rush anything. Communicate well, share the spotlight, not give in to pressure, and be open to different people. If you need help with your current dating life, try to look at what might need fixing. It could be your mindset, your way of communicating, or your vulnerability to others' expectations. What do you think is the best dating advice? Which one do you follow the most? Share with us your thoughts in the comments below. Until the next video.